Hey guys, what's up? This is Jay from Sentinel Trading Channel. Welcome to another follow-up episode on the Binbot Pro trading test. So if you guys haven't watched my previous episode, remember to do watch it as well. It's very important, but you can either watch it after. You can watch this one first. The link on the previous video will be on your top right corner of this video, or you can actually check it out on the playlist or at the end of the video. So what I'm going to cover today in this episode is on the follow up on my previous episode after the 66 trades, and I've actually further tested with another 30 trades, and you guys will check out how my setting is performed after the next 30 trade. And just for your information, it's a completely random test on a completely different currency. And what I did was I've actually tested it on, I turned on the robot for a couple hours and leave it just to collect more data in order for me to optimize the settings, because a lot of you guys are asking for my settings. And before I want to pass the settings to you guys, I actually should test it on more random points to actually optimize it. All right, so basically this is what I'm going to talk about in this particular video, and also how to exercise more control over this automated trading robot, which do provide, although it does most of the stuff for us, but it is quite limited in a way, especially in the decision making process of a trade. All right, and lastly, I've been receiving a lot of email, especially for those that are already using a Binbot Pro, whether you guys should actually withdraw now or continue testing this software using my latest settings. Well, I'll actually talk about it in the end of this video, so make sure you do check out the whole video. And before you continue to watch this video, do remember to subscribe to my channel and like this video as well, and turn on the bell notification so you guys will receive the latest update. All right, so see you guys in the next segment. Hey guys, what's up? So what you see on the screen is the Binbot Pro trading platform. If you guys followed my previous episode, my previous video, I was standing at a $590 balance, and right now it's down to 476. So what happened was, let me show you an Excel chart of what happened. So initially, when I've just started investing in Binbot Pro with the $500 account, while following the robot that was recommended on the, let's say, the top 10 robot here, I've tried the RSIMA cross, which supposedly have the highest profit, and also the rising East V1.2 as well as the strong US V2. Those robots didn't really quite work out for me. So what happened was I tried at 500 and then it went terribly like down to 200. So in the previous episode of on my video, I was saying that I've created my own robot to actually counter this effect. So, and luckily the robot that I created with my own settings worked very well and bring my balance back up to about 590. And so what I was mentioning on the previous episode is I want to further optimize my settings and also to test it in other market conditions. Let's say dated on the 21st, which was yesterday. And so I've chosen a different pair of currency. So during this rise up here, I've tested it with the Euro USD pair and the GBP USD. So what I've decided to do is to test it on a Euro JPY pair, which is a bit rare, and on a completely random timing. So what I did was I turned on the robot from this point and down and leave it on for a couple of hours to see how it reacts. So that's the only way that I could actually know the weakness in the settings that a lot of you guys are actually asking for me to share the settings for you guys. So before I actually want to share those settings for you guys, I would want to find out more about the settings on a completely random test so I can further optimize the test. So it may actually work well for one day, like for, as you can see, this rise, and it may work only for a certain pair, but I do believe that as a trader, we probably can optimize our settings. So to be honest, the test actually ran pretty okay as compared to the top 10 robot that actually caused this rather huge dip on the left here. So even though this test cost me about $120, but I think it's further worth it because I discovered some parameters, set of parameters that we can further optimize in the Binbot Pro robot. All right. So let's go back to the test robot here. So as you can see, so my advice on the previous episode is not to use the top 10 robot like the RSMA Cross, which recommended for 500, as well as the Rising East, although it says like lower balance, but none of them actually says it's $250. So I'm trying to actually come up with a setting that works for a lower balance, and perhaps some sort of a strategy for traders that have low balance to better control of using the Binbot Pro trading software. All right, so let's take a look at my trading history to further illustrate what my test result was. Okay, so as you can see, my test was mostly actually just Euro GPY. As I said, I've chosen a random currency and tested it for a couple of hours, except for this one. This one was Euro USD. I was trying it. Let's see. Yeah, I was trying it out on a Euro USD, and it worked for one pair, just for one pair. And it worked once. Okay, so I started my test from 1 p.m. GMT up to, let's say, 6 p.m. GMT. Okay, so what happened was there was a series of loss over here that was a major contribution of my decline in the balance. So if you can see the initial part did bring my balance from 590 to about, let's say, 376 down here, and then there was a winning streak over here that brings my balance back up to about 537, and then another, let's say, 3 losing streak and 2 losing streak here, and then like up and down. So sorry guys, there was an error again in my recording. So you guys can probably notice that for sure it is better than the initial robot here, although this random test. I've learned that the most important in using Binbot Pro is obviously to avoid losing streaks. So let's say, like, 3 losses in a row definitely brings our balance like a lot down, and then another 2 losses in a row probably bring it down a little bit more, like from here to here, and then yeah. So the aim of this test is to try to identify, is there a way for us to further control our trade execution and avoid losing streak. So essentially that's the key to growth. So like I've said, I've actually managed to identify some of the points based on the settings. I am going to share to some of my subscribers that actually asked for it. The setting seems to work well with a certain market condition. So in order to illustrate this, because obviously this is pure numbers, so I've actually gone through the Euro GPY chart. Let's say I've started trading at about, let's see, was it 1 p.m. Yes, about 1:43 p.m. Let me see, Euro GPY. No, sorry. Got to go to 21 about 1 p.m. Yep. So about here. All right. So the areas that I circle is the areas that I've got winning streak. So the losing streaks one, let's say at let's say from 2 p.m. to 2:40. Let's see, 2 p.m. to 2:40. Let's say 2 p.m. to 2:40. All right. So like this region on the far left, we will want to avoid, and then we'll focus more on the circled region where I got my winning streak from. So the first winning streak was about 2:42 to, let's say, 3:18, 2:42. It's about here to here, this region here, and then the next one would be, let's say, 3:40, about this region. So you guys get the point. I highlighted the regions on this price chart for Euro GPY here. So I guess that the key is to avoid conditions that will give us losing streak, and let's say assuming that if I didn't get the losing streak, my balance was still probably more than 500, so which is what my next episode is going to be all about. So do remember to subscribe to my channel to actually, get a next update of the Binbot Pro. So as I will continue to test this software. So basically, what I noticed is one important area is because one of my settings do involve RSI levels, and I've noticed that the best to be like more conservative and aim for the highest success rate is to wait for the RSI level to be above, let's say, 70 or below 30, which is over here. As you can see, the first region here, we have a RSI that is above 70. The higher the better. If it's like 80, it's even better. So that's when you turn on your robot, and then maybe you take like one or two or perhaps three trades for it to execute here, but I probably suggest that you just take one or two whenever the RSI level hits. So although this one I've got like maybe two winning streaks from this region, but the RSI is still in the middle. So, and look at the next region, the next RSI level was, let's say, above like 70 again, and then I've got another winning streak here. So let's say this is about 5 p.m. Let's see, where's 5 p.m. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. But here, yeah, 4 winning streaks here. So that's just awesome. All right, so another one, let's say another RSI level, got way past 70, and then you turn on the robot, we can actually get another winning streak. So based on this test, this would be my conclusion. To further add more control into your Binbot Pro trading progress is to wait for the RSI levels. Well, as for the exact setting, I probably would not want to share in this video here because I may change it over time, and it might actually change based on the market situation. I might further optimize it. So because the video is going to last way longer on YouTube, and new traders, maybe a couple of months down the road might actually look at a video which the settings may not be working very well at that point of time. So I do suggest that you guys contact me in the email and on the screen you see in front, or just add me on Skype. So you guys just hit me up, and I'll probably suggest the best settings for Binbot Pro at that point in time, or at any point in time which I am currently testing. All right, so I think that's all for like what I found out about my test. Like I say, I don't think that this test would signify that it is really bad. It's actually holding at a certain level, about 400, and also this test was on a completely random currency, as well as I did not interfere with the trading time. I just leave it on for a couple of hours just to collect more data. I think obviously it works way better than 500 to 200 bucks. You see this decline here. This is just like a massive failure. Most of the users that email me about settings probably are in this stage right now. So I would actually attend to the question, because I've got actually two major questions that I would like to attend to in this particular video. One is like, okay, what's the best setting for the Binbot Pro, the one that I'm using that actually is working for me? And the answer would be just contact me, and I would actually share what I found during my test. And the second question is that I get is like, okay, some traders is telling me like, they've tried the top 10 robot, and they've actually probably wasted a lot of revenue like in this phase, and then they were asking, should I withdraw my funds or just use my settings? All right, so and the answer to that is I would say that answer, it is for you to decide, because like for me, this $500 test on the Binbot Pro, I personally can actually afford the test, but for, let's say, traders that are running on low funds, and I would say that by now you can see Binbot Pro, it's a automated trading robot. So therefore the decisions and the trading executions, you have totally no control except for changing the settings. So, and me as a trader, and some of the trades that was executed on the Binbot Pro trading software, I may personally disagree with the trading setup, but sometimes it wins, sometimes it loses. So therefore the lack of control is just like quite limited, or it is just what it is because it is a trading robot. So, and that's why I suggest that if you look at the price chart and activate our robot based on the RSI levels at that point in time. And do take note that it is based on my current settings, which I will share for those subscribers that contact me directly on email. So as I was saying, so it is up to you guys. If you think you can afford that such a risk using Binbot Pro, I would say Binbot Pro is trading options, and options will allow you a super fast payout within a short time as compared to the normal conventional CFDs. So that's why you see, like, maybe my next day I can actually earn another $200, which bring my balance up. I don't know, which there is a high chance, but there's also a high chance that it could work against me. So if you guys personally can afford such a risk and you guys can continue testing the Binbot Pro, by all means you can do it. All right. So but if you guys are in a are traders that prefers a more controlled environment where you can set, like, you can decide and analyze the market situation and the market price first before you execute any trade, I would say Binbot Pro is not really a good way to actually put your fund in. One, because it's trading options. Options have high risk, but also potential high return is there. But so if your account is actually a small account, you guys are less likely to actually last the lose streak that may happen in the future before your account get to actually grow due to the nature of option trading. So you guys will be better off trading longer term signals. You guys can actually refer the signal to from me as well. I personally prefer to trade a longer term signal, maybe that lasts for a day or maybe half a day. Maybe we just take one swing and we exit the position, or maybe like when the price are trending on the daily chart, we can actually hold the position for a couple of days before we close the position for profit. So that's my personal trading preference. That's, if you guys are interested, you guys can contact me through email or Skype as well, and we'll probably talk about it and discuss what we can do based on your current situation. Well, as for Binbot Pro, I still have confidence that it will work. I guess the settings and the optimization, I am excited to actually test it again, and should be a higher chance when I probably take care of my execution based on the RSI level using my particular settings. All right, so I think that's all for this video. Remember guys, if you guys are interested in the settings that I'm using for Binbot Pro, do email me or Skype, and then we will actually talk about it, right? Okay, so I do get a lot of emails lately, so please be patient. I will respond to you when I'm done responding to other emails or Skype messages. All right, so that's all for now. So trade safe and good luck.